Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Giant Take podcast. I'm Josh, and I'm joined by my friend and co-host Alex. We're here coming to you on Monday night for me, Monday afternoon for Alex. Uh, I'm abroad right now, so that's why 6 hours ahead here in Switzerland. But regardless, still got the news out. The New York Giants have signed a few wide receivers, and it's odd. We're gonna get into it in this episode. But Alex, first of all, how are you doing?
Doing well. June is here. Excited, closer and closer to the summer. The warm weather is kind of somewhat here. So, in good spirits. The sun is out. Can't complain.
Yeah, it's been 80s here. I don't know about back in the good old US of A. How is it
I
also
see nothing
80s
but blue
there?
skies right now. So,
All
after
right.
days and days of rain, feels pretty good.
Oh, it's been rain. Yeah, it's supposed to rain here actually like the next few days. So I guess maybe it's going across the pond to us. And that's what's going on there. So, all right, let's get into the news. Gunnar Olszewski tore his Achilles, and so that left a vacancy in terms of the kick and punt return spot. And the Giants, we didn't really know where they were going to go. We saw them sign a few defensive tackles after literally the same thing happened with Roy Robertson Harris in OTAs. And so you would think they would, okay, sign another kick punt returner, which they did in Braxton Berrios, which is just interesting. I mean, you probably recognize the name from being a former Jet, among other things, dating influencer Alex Earl, too. They broke up, though. I know that's a big deal for many. But he's 30 years
Not for you,
old.
Josh.
Not for me. No, no,
Okay.
not in the Alex Earl realm. Besides her name, and I know that she's an influencer slash celebrity. He's got over under actually 1,500 receiving yards. It's 1,360 in about like 7 years in the NFL, mostly with the Jets, 4 years there, and two with the Dolphins, and most recently with the Texans. He doesn't, he doesn't have a potential in terms of being a actual receiver depth guy that's going to be like your third or fourth guy. His potential and why he was signed is to compete to be the kick punt returner for the New York Giants. And so with the Jets, he was that. With Miami, also sort of that, and then played in a few games with the Texans doing so as well. So that's the deal with Berrios. So then, Alex, I don't know about you, but I thought that was it for today. I thought the Giants were done, and maybe I mean again, it's on the East Coast. It's still only 3:30. Maybe there's another one that they signed while we're recording this, but I thought that was it. I thought they were done, and I could call it a day. I can get out my post, and that's it. Then within the next whatever it is, what half hour or so, or maybe hour, I see another tweet, and it's from Paul Schwartz, and he says Odell Beckham still on the table. Like, okay, we've heard Odell Beckham still on the table for the last 3 years. Odell Beckham's always still on the table. Then I see Ian Rappaport tweet out Odell Beckham is returning home to the New York Giants. And then I knew that Odell Beckham was officially returning to the Giants. And I don't understand this besides from a PR standpoint. And it's funny I say that because I'm here in Switzerland on a PR trip. That's what we're doing here. And to me, this Odell Beckham move is just strictly for PR. It's strictly to get jersey sales back. It's strictly for a fan perspective. The team can now release a bunch of content about Odell Beckham. And Alex, is honestly the way I compared it was it seems like a band on their final retirement tour. And like they go around to every city and they say bye before they retire. And it seems like that's exactly what Odell Beckham is going to do if he even makes the 53-man roster, by the way, because that's an if. Odell Beckham is not, he's 33 now. He ain't no old Odell Beckham like he used to be.
Yeah, and I assume you're going to mention one more guy in a second, but obviously, I mean, I'll break the news here. Obviously, they end up going and then making a third signing of the day with JuJu Smith-Schuster, which was funny because we heard that yesterday there was the tryout with JuJu, with OBJ, and with Braxton Berrios, and I guess that must have been the greatest tryout of all time because all three of them got signed. I don't know how that's possible, how it happened. OBJ coming back to the Giants was, I mean, at this point, it kind of felt like a matter of time. I agree it makes no sense, but it kind of just felt like that was the direction in which they were going to go. JuJu really came out of nowhere. I get the Berrios, like, you need another kick returner type guy, but Berrios has not been good for a number of years now, not really been productive as a returner, obviously not been productive as just a receiver on offense. So a little odd there. JuJu, the only thing I could say is that he obviously was in Matt Nagy's offense with Kansas City for a few years. So there's some familiarity there. But, signing all three of those guys, Josh, and I'm just, looking at the wide receivers the Giants have on their roster, and you're looking at it, right? Assuming they're going to carry, yes, I'm about to do it, 6 or 7 wide receivers. And you look at the guys who are obviously locks to make the team, right? So you got Malik Neighbors, he's going to be a lock to make the team. Darius Slayton and Darnell Mooney, with the amount of money they're making, locks to make the team. And obviously, with all the capital that you use to go up and get Malachi Fields will be making the roster. So those are 4 guys right off the bat that are guaranteed to make the roster. And you're looking at maybe 2 to 3 spots left. You've got guys existing on the roster already. Isaiah Hodgins obviously had a good end last year. They brought in Calvin Austin as a return option / obviously receiving threat as well. So obviously, I guess more of a competition there with him and Berrios. And then you've got other guys on the team. Obviously, Bo Collins, who obviously had that terrible injury to start last year, but a lot of hype around him. Xavier Gibson, ex-Jet, Jalen Hyatt, if we want to consider him, other guys who could be in the mix. And then you've got, obviously, you signed JuJu and OBJ. There's a lot of competition here. You could end up with, Calvin Austin, excuse me. I wish we had Calvin Johnson. Calvin Austin and OBJ, and that's 6 guys already. And then what are you doing? Is JuJu getting cut? Is Braxton Berrios not making the roster?
Well, to be realistic, Odell Beckham shouldn't even be on the team. Again, like he is not only past his prime, Alex. He is not NFL ready anymore. He is not an NFL wide receiver in any capacity for any team anymore. And so by signing Odell Beckham, this is just one reason to get fans in the building and to buy their tickets. I really stand by that because
absolutely.
If you tell me that he's going to sign this contract and make the roster, I doubt it. Joe Schoen and John Harbaugh, unless he's, and they don't do this in the NFL. Maybe they might do this in, other leagues, like have an extra roster spot for a guy who doesn't play. Just like they
NBA.
have him there and like like
Milwaukee, I'm thinking
that's like one of the only the only few places like that in leagues that do this. You have to make sure you utilize all 53 spots. That's what the practice squad is for. And you can't just say, oh, Odell's not going to play this year, but we're going to have him on our roster. There's a difference between a player signing a one-day contract and coming back, which is always what I thought Odell was going to do. But now it's this, which honestly might be even more embarrassing for him because if he makes it all the way through training camp and he gets cut, that's like a weight.
I think he's making the roster purely because what are you going to do? Obviously, at this point, you saw at the charity softball game over the weekend, he's high-fiving, he's hugging all the guys. Everyone seems to want him there. I don't see him getting cut.
Well, he won't be doing much on the field.
I would agree.
He's done. He's done, dude. Like, he will not be getting people are going to be pissed, but like Malachi Fields and Calvin Austin should be over him in the depth chart. He has not shown anything in the last 3 to 5 years that shows him that he should be ahead of those guys.
There's an argument Hodgins should be ahead of him, honestly.
You should
not even an argument. I think it's a sure thing he should be ahead of him. There's other guys.
Malachi Fields, you want to get – this is a younger team, right? You want to get younger team reps. You want them to be good. So then when Odell Beckham is not going to be on the team next year, you can say, all right, well, listen, we saw this tape from Malachi Fields. It's like a waste of an opportunity for you to draft him and then play Odell Beckham over him for him to just leave next year. There's no
No, I mean,
point.
he's going to be in that cheerleader role. And unfortunately,
Kind of
the Giants
veteran
don't have
leadership,
yeah.
but a cheerleader slash veteran leadership. And my thing though is, Alex, is this the guy you really want to be your veteran leader? Remember, this is the same guy that has been numerous seasons. One of those where you use the word head case. That is Odell Beckham. Like, that is a word to use for Odell Beckham, with all the Twitter beefs, with just everything about this guy. And that's all he's done for the past few years, because he needs a team to be on, because he's unemployed. Let's be honest. He was unemployed before this tryout and before the Giants just signed him. He was putting cryptic messages on social media to get a reunion with the Giants over the past year. And especially it's been the most hyped up over the last month or two, because that's all he has, is just trying to get back with the Giants, and they gave him that opportunity. And, when Odell was on this team, I had a jersey. You probably had a shirt or a jersey. We were young. We were 10 years old. We loved Odell. And he was great until he wasn't, and he left, and then that was it. And that should have been it. That should have been done. Complete. We had our Odell Beckham phase. It was a good time. We saw a year with him with Saquon. Then he left, and that was it. Why is he back? I don't. That's where I'm like, I don't. It doesn't make sense to me. His time is done. His legacy with the Giants is done.
And I mean, I wouldn't even classify him. I'm sure people are going to hound me on this, but I wouldn't even classify him as a Giants legend, to be honest. He had a few very good seasons, don't get me wrong, and he was one of the most talented receivers I've ever watched on a football field in his prime. Obviously, the greatest catch I've ever seen. But he's not a Giants legend, right? He's not. What did he accomplish with the New York Football Giants? Nothing.
Here's the thing.
You could make the argument, Josh, that Daniel Jones has had more success with the New York Giants than OBJ. He won a playoff game.
Yeah, but I want to look to just confirm this. And let's see, you might be right. Yeah, Alex, I think you're wrong, because I'm looking here at the New York Giants career receiving leaders all time.
He's number 2.
Odell Beckham is number 2. Odell Beckham is number 2. I don't think you can just take that what you will and say, okay, he was number 2, whatever. And then receptions, he's number 4. Yards, he's number 2. I think we just said that. Touchdowns, is he up there too? Let's see. He's number 4. Yeah, Alex, he has a legacy with the Giants.
I would.
If you have a legacy with a team, are you considered a legend? Is that the word that?
I guess it depends what your definition of legend is, but yeah.
Because I think his Giants legacy. That's what I said. His Giants legacy is done, but I don't know if I would say he's a Giants legend.
I wouldn't.
I don't know. Maybe the words are the same, but
I mean, yeah. I think, to be honest, the words don't really matter, because he's 33 years old, and he's not exactly a guy that's a great example for other guys in the locker room, especially a younger receiver core like this. We're already seeing Malik Neighbors go out and talk and, all this and, saying all these things.
I'm sure he's got one already, but it's his niche. He can find it. He likes to talk. I'm sure he's got it already, but if he doesn't, it's time to retire and get the podcast. Honestly, do your own Odell Beckham show. I'm sure it'll get millions of views every episode, because you'll have crazy things to say about the NFL. But that's where we're at right now. And speaking of media, Alex, we also had Russell Wilson retiring officially. He's going to join CBS. That also happened today. I didn't even mean to mention that, but I just thought it would be fitting for that to come up. So no more Russell Wilson. He didn't really know. He was he was unsure of what he was going to do throughout the offseason. He got probably a really nice contract, I'm sure, that he wanted, and he'll be one of the top analysts for CBS. Yeah, good for him. Both of our favorite quarterbacks growing up. Unfortunate that we couldn't see his legacy be. He has a legacy. He is a legend. He is a Hall of Famer, I would say. Unfortunately, we couldn't see that side of him with the Giants, as much as we wanted to. I mean, when they signed him, and when he was going to be the starter, Alex and I remember kept on talking about if that happened 10 years prior to when they actually signed him, or 5 years even prior, I mean, we would have been
Going
Oh
nuts.
my God. Yeah, we were going crazy. But yeah, congratulations to Russell Wilson. Good for him. One of the, again, polar opposite presences than Odell Beckham has in terms of a positive versus negative connotation. You hear see Russell Wilson, you know it's something positive is going to come out of it, or maybe in something goofy funny. You know, that he has like some memes I know, but Odell, it's complete negative, like insanity, weird stuff coming out of Odell Beckham. Like it's just, yeah.
But insanity sells, and that'll be the case for the Giants. I'm sure they'll rip that number 13 jersey right off Jalen Hyatt's back. It'll be right on OBJ's back,
Oh yeah.
and they will be selling so many jerseys. They will be doing so many
They were,
advertisements.
and they were, the Giants team was waiting for this, Alex. I mean, they probably have had this video set for like 3 years, dude.
They
You
probably
did you
ripped
see
Jalen
like
Hyatt's 13 off him in December, to be honest. This has been
did
a long
you
time coming.
did you see like right after, you know how they like take a while and it's not even
Oh,
them,
they had
certainly Dan
all the
Salamone,
things set
the
up.
PR guy for the Giants, he like the next day after all the reports are actually out because they need to get it official with the signings and the physical.
Yeah.
Like the next day, like tomorrow, I'm sure Dan Salamone, if he hasn't already, will say Braxton Berrios gets signed to the Giants, whatever. When this Odell Beckham signing happened, no, actually the Giants did. They announced the Braxton Berrios thing. I'm showing this for everyone watching.
Yeah.
They announced his signing after they posted an Odell tribute video, even though they were signed officially or in terms of reports online in reverse order. But yeah, the social media team had like a minute 30 tribute video for Odell, and it was just like they were waiting to get that one out. But
my recommendation to finish it off: do not get an OBJ jersey unless it's 13, and then you could carry it on legacy wise, whatever.
I will say, I do think we are going to get a lot of hate for this. I know,
Oh.
Odell's a big fan favorite for no, like this whole episode. I have no other
Oh,
take.
yeah.
We already made it clear. Where I think we're going to get a good amount of hate for our opinions on him. But honestly, I just think it's a cancer in the locker room, Alex. It's not a positive energy. Now he's not to the levels of like Antonio Brown.
Yeah. And he's
But
not what he used to be. Don't get me wrong.
no,
Obviously, he's
no.
what is he, 33 instead of 23?
But the infamous boat pick, it'll always be a thing etched in Giants fans' mind. Don't forget that, by the way, now that we signed him and he's going to be here on this team again. Like, that still happened, and
do you
people can
think
say
they
that
go
they
for the
were
reverse curse and they take another boat pick? Because Jackson Dart strikes me as a guy who could like a good boat pick. What do you think?
Yeah, well, yeah,
We'll see.
Jackson Dart certainly likes a lot of things in the spotlight right now.
That's true.
We don't have to get into all of that. But anyways, I think with that we will conclude this episode of the Giant Take podcast. Braxton Berrios, JuJu Smith-Schuster, which is again just funny that he's on the Giants now too.
Giants TikTok account is to the moon.
Yeah, and Odell Beckham Jr. is the list of players on the New York Giants now after today. 3 wide receiver signings, and hopefully, not more to come by the time we release this episode, because it is only on the East Coast about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. All right, we'll see you next time in another episode of the show. Peace.